Back to the Basics with Big Dave, Alabama's voice for canning, homesteading, and self-reliant living.
The lights might go out, but we don't. This is your guide, your neighbor in the know, your host, Big Dave. Back to the basics.
And welcome into Back to the Basics. We got a good show for you tonight. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. Now, this is Mike. And just to let you know, Mike, I only started doing this. This is episode number 74, but I only started on YouTube in November. So I don't have as many followers that y'all do, the Four Horsemen, but one day I'll be as big as y'all. You know, you got to start small. You got to start somewhere.
Absolutely. I have zero doubt you'll get there, Dave. Well, zero doubt.
I'm glad you do. But one of your buddies was on here last week, Pete, the roaming prepper, and it was funny because when he hosts the show, The Four Horsemen, he would ask the questions, but he never answered the questions.
Very true.
I went on there and I wrote down the questions that he was asking you guys and turned around and flipped it on him.
Make him answer his own questions.
But I noticed that you will ask the questions and then you usually turn around and follow up. So how long have you now, just to give preference, where are you from?
I am from upstate. I like to call it the People's Republic of New Yorkistan, but yes. upstate New York. I'm about 2 hours north of New York City and an hour south of the capital, Albany. So I'm in the middle of this really crappy sandwich of a lot of people and a lot of people. But I'm a farm boy. I'm here in farm country, the Hudson Valley. We grow grapes, cows, and horses, and a whole lot of apples here. Cool. Beautiful countryside here. This is where all the city folks come to pick their pumpkins and their apples and things like that. Cool. Beautiful place. I call it the breadbasket of New York. And I've been doing preparedness since about 2014. There were some crazy laws that came into existence here in New York, and it kind of spurred something in me that maybe things could go south at some point. And that the government wasn't exactly being trustworthy anymore, Dave. So
trust me, I do know that.
The light bulb went off for me, and I was like, "That's it. I got to get going."
Well, I'm just I'm just a redneck that happens to work in radio, and in fact, the general manager of our station here in Birmingham is in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, he's in the Wicked Witch's lair over there in Buffalo.
Yes. But
we call her the Buffalo Witch.
The funny thing is, he comes down here and does a lot of hunting.
Yeah. Hunting is much more fruitful down south. That's for sure. Up here, you're gonna freeze your tuchus off in the woods during deer season. That's for sure.
Yes. All right. This is my first question off the bat for you. If you were starting today, now, what's the gears, the gadgets, the survival kit that you would tell people to get?
If I was starting today, I would totally
say I've never done it before. What would you give me advice on what to get me started?
To put you in the best possible situation, I would say the number one thing would be the knowledge, right? Try to learn as much as you can first and foremost, because that is something you're not going to lose. It's not something that's going to break. It's not something that is going to wear out, right? It's something we're going to keep with us forever, is the knowledge and the skills that you can learn by watching other people, taking some small classes and things like that. Number two would be start on your food storage. And I always tell folks to prep what they eat and eat what they prep. Don't buy things that you're not going to eat. Don't buy things that your kids won't eat. Don't buy things that your palate's not going to tolerate or your stomach's not going to tolerate. In a time when the toilets might not work, that's not a great idea.
No.
But I would totally, start learning as much as I could. Start storing some dry goods, something that's got real long-term shelf life. If you want to go the freeze-dried route, it's a little more expensive, but it's got 25 years shelf life, especially if you go with the number 10 cans. The smaller bags aren't going to last quite as long.
Right.
But some food storage and water purification. That's a huge one. Water purification, sanitation. Those would be my next two, is get yourself a really good water purifier and figure out what you're going to do about sanitation when the lights go out and those toilets don't flush anymore. Where are you going to dispose of human waste? What are you going to do with that? Because that's going to be a humongous problem that a lot of preparedness people don't talk about if something were to go wrong. Sanitation.
Yeah, don't be burying it close to the garden.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, make sure your outhouse is way over there and your garden is way over there.
That's right.
When you're doing it. So I noticed last night, I happened to watch y'all's pop up. I don't know if y'all do it every night.
Oh yeah,
the Four Horsemen. Do y'all
well,
do?
No. So we do the Four Horsemen on Tuesdays, and that's revolving. We move it from each person's YouTube channel, so everybody gets a chance to host the show and ask the questions, right? Because the host asks the questions. So we bounce that one around. So there's four of us. So in a month, it's on each channel once. But personally, we do Wednesday nights. We call it "We All Gonna Die Wednesdays." And we have
where that come from.
We have kind of converted it into a call-in show now. Right. We inadvertently found out that if I hook my Bluetooth up to our equipment, I can just link my phone right into the stream. So we got our own little call-in show now. Somebody last night said it was like a Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell.
Art Bell.
So
I heard that.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
I just happened to pop in on it. I mean, I didn't know. And then the night before, Tuesday night, was my first time catching a live Four Horsemen. So, it was awesome. I learned a lot, especially on the Four Horsemen. The call-in one, that was fun and everything, but you learn more with you guys on the Four Horsemen. Bunch of great guys. I feel like I'm slowly but surely going to come into that community with y'all.
Absolutely.
I mean, being able to interview you guys and all that stuff. But my question is, are people quietly prepping and not telling anyone?
Honestly, Dave, I think a lot of people are. And the ones who are the brightest bulbs in the box. I think a preparedness-minded individual who really understands preparedness, their golden ticket is their secrecy, right? Is not revealing everything you have, not letting people even know that you have that stuff. That's when it really works out for you, because you can just play the fool, and I don't know. I don't know what anybody's going to do. What should I do? And I'm just a stupid New Yorker. I don't know much about anything. Go Yankees,
Right. Go Knicks.
But I really think those people who are preparing under the radar are going to be the ones who make it the furthest. honestly. If they're just watching in the background, listening and paying attention, taking notes and putting that into practice, I think they're going to do really, really well if something goes wrong.
That, we might be the idiots because I do radio and you're doing podcasts and y'all, I mean, we might be the dummies. And the one thing I have going for me is no one knows where I live at now because I just moved. So, that's a good thing, for that. There's a few other questions that I'm going to ask you. One of the things is that, when we come back from break here in about 2 minutes, maybe you can answer this in 2 minutes. I don't think you can, but, what is today's tripwire?
Ooh, oh yeah, it is. Today's tripwire. Let me ponder on that one for a minute, Dave. That's a really tough one because there's so many things that could go wrong. I think there's a couple of them, but I'll definitely let you know
when we
my number
break,
one.
Yeah, when we come back from break, Mike is going to tell us what he thinks today's tripwire. And the reason where I got that from is because some of the videos that I've watched of your early stuff.
Yeah.
You kept saying tripwire this and tripwire that.
Yeah.
And that was back then. And now I want to know what your tripwire is for today, which is totally different. I mean, it'll change in a month.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. So, all right, guys, we'll be back right after this.
If you trust the government, I don't trust you. Nothing personal. I just know you don't do any research.
Back to the Basics with Big Dave.
And welcome back into Back to the Basics. We got Mike with Hudson Valley Prepper and Survival. All right, Mike. What is today's tripwire?
I tell you what, Dave, that is one heck of a question because, like we discussed earlier, it's a goalpost that moves, right?
It does. It does.
So I guess my question to you is what is the tripwire attached to? Is this the World War III tripwire? Is this the one that sets everything off? Honestly, I think it's right now it's countries running out of fuel. I think the tripwire is when some of these nations start running out of fuel, they're going to become very desperate, and they're going to do things against what they would normally do, and I think it's going to bite somebody in the back pretty hard.
I think on a global scale, yes.
Yeah.
But on a nation scale, as far as our nation, I think it's going to be people not paying attention to what the government will tell you, hey, look over here, while they're doing this over here.
Yep.
Y'all were talking last night. One of the things that I think people don't do anymore is doing their own research.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And you even said you looked up something on AI for a change, and you made sure that it gave you all of the places where it was found.
Oh yeah. You better cite your sources, mister. Bring the receipts. I want to see them. See them.
Exactly. So you were talking about that last night, and that is a person that really knows how to research stuff. You're not just taking someone's word for it.
No, you can't anymore because there's so much out there that's either created out of fantasy, right? For clicks. A lot of people do anything for a click on the internet nowadays. And the AI, Dave, I got to be honest with you. A year ago, I thought it would have taken a couple of years before the AI videos could fool the average person. Mm-hmm. 3 months later, I was proved wrong.
Oh, yeah.
When average people are sending me videos going, hey, Mike, have you seen this? Is is this real or is this AI? I'm like, oh man, I'm looking at it myself and I'm questioning it, but I'm pretty sure it's AI. Because I haven't seen it anywhere else. You know, I'm doing research. I'm trying to find more sources of this information, and it's just the one. So there's a lot of fake out there. There's a lot of fake out in the world today, and whether it's for clicks or just downright propaganda or trickery, you know, you can't tell anymore. You can't tell. We like to say that we live in a post-truth era, or a truth shopping era, where people will go and try and find the truth that they want to hear, not necessarily what is actual fact.
Well, just to piggyback on that, another question is, do you think it's the deep state using it to help their agenda?
Honestly, I think I know the petrodollar is dead. That contract expired, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're at the death of the the very thing that gave the US dollar value, right? And that was oil. You could only trade oil in US currency. And I think what we're seeing is a squeeze by the upper classes on everybody in America to get all of the money out of us that they possibly can right now, before the bottom falls out of everything. So I think it's more greed based than government based, honestly. I think the richy rich can see the writing on the wall, and they are trying to get all they can so that when the system changes to a new system, they have enough of that fiat currency to buy their way in.
Well, you know, I was sitting here thinking, and I even asked Pete about it, the roaming prepper. I heard an interview of talking about President Trump, that he was being smarter than most people thought, because we owe so much money to China and these other countries. And with the Strait of Hormuz closed, they're having to come to us for the oil. So
Yep.
eventually he's going to go, okay, clear our debt and we'll give you oil.
I think that would be great. That would be great, but it's the U.S. government, man. We can't put anything past them, and I can't trust a politician half as far as I can throw them. So
No.
And I haven't been politician throwing ever, so I'm not very good at it. They ain't gonna make it too far.
All right. Well,
I don't know. I don't know if we can trust them.
well, the other day I'll go to this one. Do you think we will have a recession or a depression?
I think we've been in a quiet one for a while. I think it's inflation based. The price of everything has gone through the roof.
Oh yeah.
We've seen it in the grocery stores. You ever gone to a car lot? Go look at the price of a new pickup truck, Dave. It'll floor you. These are home prices that they're putting on vehicles nowadays. Home prices,
No,
$100,000 for a pickup truck. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I'll stick with my 2011.
It's, and these are the machines that built America. It was built off the back of pickup truck driving men and women nowadays, because there's a lot of women out there turning wrenches and working on power lines and building homes and doing the things nowadays, because they have to, because the economy is gone so far, and inflation's crushing people, Dave. I don't know how the average fixed income people, man, my heart goes out to you. I wish we could start a fund, like, publicly to support these people on fixed income, SSI folks, try and ease some of the burden on them when these fluctuating bills go through the roof, electric bills, heating bills, things like that. They're crushing us, Dave. They're squeezing us for every last dollar.
Well, you say people that are on fixed income, but aren't we all on a fixed income?
In a way.
I mean, we really are, because like at my job right now, you don't get any overtime approved.
No.
Used to, 15 years ago, if I wanted to work some overtime, they'd say, go ahead. Somebody needs to take a vacation day, go ahead and, run their show. And so now basically I work my 40 and that's all I do, and so, but one of the things that I've been trying to hedge my bets against, and that's why you see this stuff back here. I do a lot of canning and stuff like that, but that is a working, the old ones are in the front and the new ones are in the back, and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I know we have been in a silent recession, especially because of the everything going up, and I think it's going to get worse because of the oil.
Yeah.
Now I ain't going to make
I do
you
too.
mad. I don't want to make you mad, but I did get gas for $3.34 the other day.
Ooh, man.
I don't want to make you mad.
That's rough. Yesterday I filled up $130. I've been using the ethanol free in my truck. It's a little older truck, so I try to keep it clean, so I've been using the ethanol free. I found that I get almost 20 miles to the gallon out of my 1500 5.7 Hemi with ethanol free gas. So I've been pumping the ethanol free, and it was like $127 to fill that thing. It hurts.
Wow.
It hurts.
That hurt. Well, you also in New York.
Yeah.
Everything up there,
I'll forget it.
The cost of living here in Alabama is totally different. I mean, you were reading off stats last night.
The numbers are staggering, Dave.
Right,
Absolutely staggering.
Up there, the average house like the one I live in, the rent for someone to rent a house, this 3-bedroom, whatever, $2,000 a month.
Yeah, up here it's higher. It's higher for sure.
A lot.
It's higher.
Yeah.
I've seen places going for $3,500, $4,500. If you get down towards New York City, just forget it.
Yeah.
You're paying that for a studio apartment down there. In my current county, in order to, pay the bills and have some spending money, some entertainment money, be able to take care of the kids. When I did the figures the other day, it was $109,000. And that's, you got to clear that after taxes.
Yeah.
Right. That's what you need take home to be able to support a family of 4. It's crazy.
That just blows my mind.
And then the Parks Department wants to hire you to be full-time maintenance manager at $36,000 a year, $3,000 over the poverty line.
Guys, we're fixing to go to break. Me and Mike's during this break, we're gonna cry a little bit.
Yeah.
because we're realizing that we don't know if we're gonna make it in this, in this crazy, as I called it last week with Pete, the dumpster fire. But
yep.
All right, guys, we will be back right after this.
Would you try to survive the apocalypse?
Is that not what we're doing now?
Back to the basics with Big Dave. Contact the show. Email bigdave3xl@gmail.com.
And we are back with Mike at Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. All right, now this is going to be you talked the other night on one of your podcasts about you should check your equipment. It's time to check the equipment.
Oh,
How often should someone check their equipment?
So you should be using your equipment regularly, right? You should totally be getting out with your survival gear and testing it on the regular and making sure it works for you. If you're not, and it's just a bag that you're storing, we like to do spring and fall bag changes here in the Northeast. It's time to swap out that summer gear for your winter gear and change things up, right? In the winter, we're going to have to carry a little bit more weight because we need a lot more insulation up here in the Northeast. So our bag swaps typically come September, October, right? And then I would say April or May, we're starting to take some of the heavier stuff out of there and put some of the lighter weight gear in, right? I don't need a 0-degree bag when it's going to be 85 degrees out. So it's time to ditch that from the kit until next fall. But at least twice a year, get in there and check out your stuff. If you have food stored in your bug out bag or anything like that, make sure you're storing it in a rodent safe container. Any metal container will do that for you. The old military surplus ones I find work fantastic. They fit a bug out bag perfect, the extra large ones. But yeah, I would say at least twice a year you should be cycling that stuff out and getting it out, testing it out, making sure everything's in good working order.
Wow. Okay. Well, around here, we do basically the same thing. We do it, spring and fall. Also, I mean, and we don't have the winters that you do, but like with me, I keep a blanket in my truck all the time, just for the pure fact that truck breaks down and I need a blanket to lay on to get under it to fix it or whatever. But I also keep one in there in case when it's cold, I break down and my wife's with me. I'm able to give her a blanket if I can't keep the car running for heat. She's got something that she can wrap up in. I'm not as worried about me. Yep. That's why my wife drives the newer vehicle. I drive the older vehicle. Mine's a 2011 Toyota. And I did that on purpose because I don't want her breaking down. I want to be the one. If somebody's going to break down, let it be me on the side of the road because I'm just one of them. I'm a macho man. No, I'm just kidding. It is. What is the best? Well, let me go to his other one. I'm gonna ask you that one in the last segment.
All right.
What is the best radio for a beginner that does not have that has never done radio as far as for the comms and all that
communications? Honestly, start with the walkie-talkies. You don't need a license, right? Just your basic FRS walkie-talkies. Something that you can talk within your legal limits, and you will learn the limitations of radio waves very quickly, because those little handheld radios, Baofangs can be extremely complicated for somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, and you could potentially get yourself in a lot of trouble with one keying it up on the wrong frequencies when you don't have a license, right? So if you want to get into the radio groove without the worry, I would look at basic FRS walkie-talkie radios. Everybody in the family picks a frequency and gets a radio, and then go out and try them out. See how far away they work. See how tall of an antenna you will have to put up at home to be able to receive messages from them. Because radio, it's pretty limited in distance, right? Unless you get into the license side. Once you get a license, then distance, that's a thing of the past, right? Once you get into the HF radios, you can talk around the world on just a few watts on the right frequency with the right licensing. So you got to start with the absolute basics. Everybody wants to say Baofeng radio, the cheap Chinese one. I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want you to get in trouble. I want you to have a good time learning about your radio and not being paranoid about hitting the talk button, right? Learn some of the lingo.
Around here, we have a hard time because we have a lot of hills and mountains, and they're not going to go through the mountain.
No,
You're
sir.
going to have a pretty big antenna to get, 6-8 miles down the road. I
Absolutely.
used to do. I still have one. I have a CB, and
Yeah.
I used to have a big old stick and everything, and I loved it. But it's in storage, and I need to break it back out and
Yeah.
get it
CB
back
radios are
running again.
great for communications. Another one that you don't need a license for, that you can just buy one, key it up, and breaker 19, here I come. I'm trying this thing out, and nobody's going to come knock on your door and say, "Hey, you owe us $10,000."
Yeah. Well,
So
you
always
were
a
an
safe bet.
intern. You were an intern at a radio station one time, and
Yes, sir.
You might understand when I say FCC.
Yes, sir.
There's-
I got a
there's-
couple licenses through.
Yeah. Well, you have to watch what you say on the radio, and when you're, on a ham, you better watch what you're saying, or they will knock at your door because they will definitely find you.
Oh yeah.
They will
Yeah,
definitely find
I
you.
tell you what, the radio operators love nothing more than a good old fashioned fox hunt.
Oh yes. Oh yes. We got about 5 minutes or so. And this one's going to really, I bet you're going to have to think about this, but what is your best asset as a prepper?
Oh, 100% without a doubt, my community. My
Okay.
community, hands
wow.
down. It's not the stuff, it's not the place, it is the people. The people that I have in my community are some of the greatest people I've ever met on the face of this earth. Good, wholesome people with skills, well-rounded. The community is my greatest asset, hands down, because I don't know everything and I can't be everywhere, but collectively we do know everything, and collectively we can be almost everywhere. So without a doubt, 100%, my community is definitely my greatest asset.
Okay. And just, I like that answer. I would have to say my wife. I mean, and
That's
and
a
when I
good one.
say that, and I'm sure she's in your community also,
Oh, absolutely.
but we just moved to this area where I live at in Alabama, about 25, 30 miles away from where we used to live. So all of my close community was over there.
Yeah.
Now I've got to try to find new community here in this area so that when something happens and I need something quick, I can get it. But I'm gonna tell you, my wife of 33 years this year, she's my best asset. She keeps me so rounded and keeps me so down. I mean, that hands down, she is, and she keeps me from doing stupid stuff. She thinks I run off and I'm like, oh, we got to get this. And she goes, do we really need that? Do
Yep.
you really need that now? She goes, let's get further into what we're doing, and then we'll get it. And
Absolutely.
So that's one of my best assets. But I'm wanting to get a better community around where I live at now, so that I have more people that can help with the stuff that I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's a big
and
one.
I feel like learning people like you, Pete, Livingston Man, Vision Preparedness, and the other people that I've found on TikTok and, canning. Anytime I have a question about canning, I have 3 or 4 people that I can go to on TikTok. If I have a question about now the prepping aspect and some equipment or whatever, I can come to you guys and go,
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, what is this any good?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
big,
mean,
man.
like,
You can save so much money and hassle and headache and potential harm by just asking somebody, right? That's what we're here for. That's why I got my email public, so people can reach out to me and say, hey, is this going to work for me in my situation? And if I don't know, I'm not one of the people who's going to kind of scoot you along and give you the watered down version. I often say, don't think you know about a topic, know that you know about your topic, because it might be something that could do you harm. You really need to know your stuff and do your research, and not just think I need to put a couple drops of bleach in that bottle. I need to know that I need to put a couple drops of bleach in that bottle, right? If we're purifying water, it's so important, man. It's so important.
So important. That, that is one of the key things to, one, I don't know if it was Livingston Man last night or whatever that said, no, it was on the other night when y'all had Prepper Now on. I think it was Vision Prepperness said, y'all were asking when he said not to listen to people that say, if you don't buy my stuff now, you're gonna die. I started laughing. And I mean, that was one of the best quotes, because you can go down a rabbit hole on YouTube and TikTok, and some of the stuff, I mean, excuse me, some of them make it look like, I mean, if you don't buy it now, you will die tomorrow.
Oh yeah. They are fear-based salesmen, 100%. And they're good at it, right? I watched a prepper who shall not be named on YouTube hype up the fear of nuclear war to the point that he was able to sell $40 Geiger counters at $400 a piece, and cried about how limited his supply was, but still managed to sell out of them before the next morning, when he said he only had 1,000 of them in stock. And so he sold 1,000 $40 Geiger counters for $400 each to people who were afraid, and click that purchase button. That is the kind of stuff that hurts me, Dave.
That bothers me too. That's why I say I am the voice of Alabama for canning, homesteading, and self-reliant living, because of the people like the old Doomsday Prepper shows.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. All right, guys, we got to go out to a break, and when we come back, I got a couple more questions for Mike. And
looking forward to it
right after this.
It's just a reminder that you and I are adults, so go do your adult things today. Be mature.
Back to the basics with Big Dave.
Got the breeze blowing like Mercy on tap. He turned my worries to worship, how about that? Used to feel stuck, now I'm free in the light. Like he flipped on a switch in the middle of night. Now I two-step through the trials, singing with a smile.
And we have Hudson Valley Prepper and Survival Mike from New York, not the city, not
right.
New York City, the state. There's a difference. You
Big
have
time.
New York City, and then you have the other good part of New York.
That's right.
So is what I've been to New York City one time. I was young. This is going to be a question. Well, I want to start off. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that one. Then I have a follow-up. I asked Pete this, so I'm going to ask you also.
All right.
What is the best invention for prepping in your lifetime?
Ooh, the best invention for prepping in my lifetime. That's a really good one. Huh.
It is. It's a hard one to think about.
Well,
I mean, just right out. And Pete came up with something that I would have never even in a million years thought of.
Man, I'm gonna have to say the advancements in backpacks. Backpacks have come a really long way since the 70s, right? Backpacks used to be these metal frames and just some nylon stitched together with a couple bootlaces hanging off of it, you know? These rugged frames. People would get hurt, like serious back injuries occurred from backpacks early on, and they've evolved like big time. I mean, we have internal frames, external frames. We have backpacks that are approved by the Spine Association, so you know they're not going to hurt your back when you carry the proper load in them, right? I'm going to say the advancements in backpacks, man. I think the advancements in backpacks, the added hip belts and things like that, people can carry a lot more, a lot further with less detriment to them. Backpacks, advancements.
Wow,
100%.
Wow. You and Pete had both of y'all had. I would have never went. I figured people would say pew pews or something there, or I said the food saver.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, you can almost everything in my backpack, my go bag, I vacuum sealed it and put it in there so that
I've done the same, Dave.
Get wet, but his was pen and paper.
Wow.
And if you get time, go back and watch that video, which I never do this, but if you've watched this video this far, make sure you like and subscribe.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't do that nowadays, and you should.
It's the best free way to help.
Yes, I mean, a buddy of mine calls it's free 99.
It is. It is. Yeah.
All right, this is going to be one. Y'all were talking about this last night, and as soon as y'all said it, and I loved your answer, and I want to kind of hear it again tonight.
Sure.
It was, where do you see America in the next 5 years? That was a awesome little deal that y'all did.
So I probably can't say it verbatim because all of those things come off the top of my head in the moment. That's but I think it went somewhere along the lines of in 5 years robots are commonplace in your life. Very few people are employed unless they work on the robots. Automation has taken over everything. Factories are entirely automated. And I don't know what happens with the people, honestly. There's too many of us, and they don't need us anymore because the robots can build all the stuff for the few who can still purchase it, right?
Right.
That's kind of where I see us going. That was Elon Musk's promise to us, was in 5 years, robots would be commonplace. And that was 2 years ago. We said that, Dave. So we're only 3 years away from that now.
And the AI has gotten so much smarter and everything that, it just, it blows my mind. I see the U.S. in the next 5 years I work on a Christian station. I'm a Christian. I don't mind saying that, but I see, you know, I see God's hand working in a lot of stuff. And I also see that the U.S. is moving further and further away from God.
Yeah.
And I think something's going to happen in that aspect. I don't know if he's coming back by then. Nobody knows the time or the hour or the day.
Amen.
But I do want to go and I want, before we get off here, we got about 4 minutes left. I want to go and I need to know, and if you can, one of you, I think Livingston Man said last night that y'all did, or maybe it was you, that y'all did a whole video about the Constitution, because the people have went and woven around the Constitution instead of driving straight through it. And y'all did a video about that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it was one of our the Four Horsemen live streams that we did. The Livingston Man was the host, and his questions were based on the constitutional rights that we think we have versus how the government finds its way around those constitutional rights or attempts to sell them back to you, right? And we went through those. I believe we went through the first 10 amendments. And as he asked, what do you think it gives you the right to? And we go around the panel and everybody discusses what you think the amendment means. And then we go over what it actually means. And then the follow-up for it was, well, this is how the government treats it now. Right. In actuality,
like the Second Amendment.
Yeah. They say you have the right to keep and bear arms unless you live in the People's Republic of New Yorkistan, right? Then you can only keep and bear certain arms, and you can only go certain places with them, and that's only if you have certain permits on certain days. Right. That's how they get down here. They find our laws unconstitutional in the Supreme Court, and then Kathy Hochul says, "Hold my beer, watch this," and then comes up with some more draconian stuff the next morning. That's how they roll.
Luckily,
here.
Luckily here in Alabama, we do not have to have license anymore to carry.
Yeah,
we
that's how it should be.
Constitution state, and Florida recognizes that. Tennessee, Mississippi, I think Louisiana recognizes it, but I'm going to have to go back, and I'm glad you told me that it was Livingston Man that was the host, because I want to go through that and see what y'all said versus what I believe.
It was a great conversation.
I think everyone should read the Constitution at least once.
Yes, and please don't read it off the internet. Find a pocket Constitution, something in print, and read it from that, because when you look it up on different internet search sites, you're going to find different definitions for what the Constitution means. Read it verbatim off the U.S. government site. That's a good place to go and get it. Unfortunately, I hate saying go to the government to get your information, but that's a great place to go and read it.
I keep a pocket one in my bag. It's my everyday carry bag. And it has my laptop and all that, and I keep one in it all the time. So if somebody says something, I can always pull it out and go, let's see, so that I know. Mike, I want to thank you for coming on the show tonight. It's been awesome. I can't wait. Hope we can do it again here soon.
Absolutely.
But you have any final words in the last 30 seconds?
Well, number one, thank you for having me on, Dave. I really appreciate it. The conversation went by so fast. It's great talking with like-minded people, just like talking with friends and family, man. Thank you so much, Dave.
I appreciate it, brother. All right, guys, we'll be back next week with another episode of Back to the Basics with Big Dave. Thank you, guys.
2 Timothy 1:7, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. Don't be scared, be prepared.